welcome back to the channel. I apologize that we haven't done a whole lot of videos lately. It's been a very slow start to the year. With exchange rates going up both in January and now into the 1st of February. All the tariff talks and everything going on in the world right at the moment. It's been a little questionable whether people are going to be buying and stuff like that. So I did that one video of sort of the highlights of everything last year. But I got looking at some things today when I signed up for a training course. I'm headed down to Texas in July to be able to do some corn and combine training. And last year I was very fortunate. I got to go away 4 different times. I got to go to Germany just in February, came home, went to Arizona for planter training, came back, went over to Europe again for Fendt tractor and combine training, and then came back and then ended up going to Saskatchewan one more time for some more combine training over there. So I thought I'd show you those trips. They were amazing. Don't very often be able to get to do that many trips all in one year, but I was very fortunate. So I wanted to show you that. So I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching. January was a fairly boring month, but I was able to take a trip to Munich, Germany on a Horsch trip to be able to see their production facilities over there. We started at Landau, which is the Lieb plant, where we got to see the new self-propelled. A lot of their inventory is still sitting here that was waiting for shipments out, as well as some of the pull-type sprayers. They also had a training facility where they were getting ready to train all the mechanics on the sprayers. We were off to Schwandorf next, where these robots were doing all the parts inventory, and carried on to Chechnya, which is where their Horsch farm is. We got to see their self-propelled planter that they built a couple years ago, and then had a nice stop for lunch, and then continued on from there to Romberg, which is their plant to the north, where they do the majority of the tillage, tine weeders, and planters. The last stop on the trip was a little town just outside of Romberg, where a customer was having his own biodigester to power and heat the entire town that was around his area. He used all of his own crops to do this setup, and the town paid him for the heat and hydro. It was really cool to be able to see it. He had one of the original tool carrier Fendts there, which you don't see many of them of anymore. And this was his home, the steep roof in the far back end, and finally back to Munich before we came home. Towards the end of March, I was able to go to Arizona. This was the Momentum Planner training that I was able to go on. I arrived a day early, grabbed a rental car, which was this little Ford Edge, and decided to do a day worth of traveling. First thing I came to was carrot farmers. This was a custom crew harvesting carrots. Right across the road, there were a couple hay rakes doing dry hay that they were getting ready to bale and ship to a local dairy farm. This was the Little New Holland, and there's another deer to come. They were Mexican workers. Tried to talk to them for a few minutes, but they would basically no anglais, so I wasn't able to chat or find anything out really more than that. But they were working in about a 60-acre field when I showed up there to be able to see. Next on the list was about an hour-and-a-half drive southwest of Phoenix. I headed down to Paloma Dairy, which is a 25,000 cow herd operating down there. They've got some Kloss equipment, bunch of tractors, this Zarian doing the bunk, massive bunkers. And they do all of their own irrigation. So everything is pumped up to these surface canals. And then everything in the field is based on 120 feet with these dirt ridges. And they flood each one of the ridges every day. So this one was flooding while I was there. This next one was flooded yesterday, and then the next one over was flooded the day before. So there's 2 gentlemen that go around opening these floodgates for all of their different fields that they do this on, and they do each little ridge on a day basis. All the water comes down to the end and is recollected and pumped back up into the irrigation mains where they can start flooding again. It's really neat. Then I drove a little bit further south from where I was there, and they were just doing their cutting of alfalfa. They had two 980 Kloss Jaguars running, a bunch of transport trucks, a couple Deere tractors with mergers, and I believe there was a Deere tractor with a butterfly mower that was also cutting here. But again, they were doing it all within these 120-foot ridges that were getting irrigated when they needed to put water on this crop. This was the John Deere. It was a 7R. It had a Kloss triple back. And they had these trucks, and there had to have been 20 of them running. They were having a hard time keeping up to those two choppers. Training started the next morning at the resort that we were at. We had a gathering there for breakfast to be able to get things figured out. And then we ended up having 2.5 days worth of training on the Momentum Planter. This was the first 12-row dry unit that we'd been able to see that will be released this year. And then we were actually able to do ride and drive with each of these planters out in this field. They had a 32-row 15-inch on this tractor. They had a 16-row on a 938, and then a 16-row 30 on a, I believe it was a 1042 that we were also able to play with. But for a lot of guys, this was the first time that they were able to get their hands on an actual unit that they were driving in the field. There were a lot of other trainings that were available that were just theoretical, watching the videos and checking the things out on the machine stationary. But to be able to sit in the tractor and be able to run this for 20 minutes, half an hour for each of these units, it was a great experience to be able to learn.
Somewhat different depth. I have some shallower rows and some deeper rows, just so we can see the variation in planting depth and how that's affected with downforce.
And the flight home headed into Toronto. And once again, in June, I was fortunate enough to head back to Germany. This time, we landed in Munich and headed over to Oktoberdorf, which is where the Fendt tractors are built. We were able to do a bunch of sightseeing of some of the churches and other things in the area. Absolutely fantastic to see. This group was doing their music on the main drive or main walk while we were heading through the tour, and we all stopped to watch it. It was pretty impressive. The next morning, it was off to actual Oktoberdorf, where the plant is for Fendt. These are some of the original tractors that were built 40, 50 years ago. It's amazing to see the difference of where things have gone from early days to where they are now. But these are all tractors sitting waiting for shipment around the world. After Oktoberdorf, we headed through Austria on our way to Italy, and we ended up spending the night and got to go down one of the Austrian Alps go-karts. They're on rails. It's like a little skid on rails, and how much fun it was. Oh my goodness. I'll let you watch and apologize for my enthusiasm, because it was extremely fun. As we come to the end, they actually have a speed camera on the end that records how fast you were going and ranked you. And I was 44.1 kilometers an hour and ranked number 1. Austria was amazing. The scenery, the animals, the mountains. There were a bunch of castles that we were able to go check out and see. This one was just a little over 150 years old. Then they took us up the side of one of the mountains, and this was a actual walk that you could take up, or you could take a cable car. We took the cable car, but the view of what you were able to see and the clouds and everything moving and changing so quickly was truly amazing. It's something I'll never forget. And after about an 8-hour drive, we made it to Italy. As we came across the Austrian border, you could see the grapes and the amazing wide open water that were so blue you could see the bottom. These waterfalls, and I say the vineyards were up the sides of the mountains. Truly amazing. And as we come in across the main bridge into Venice, it's nothing but water. And truly an experience for me. I thought that I would be getting seasick from the boats, but I definitely did not. The gondolas, the old architecture, the smells, truly something that you need to do and experience once in your lifetime. Yeah, because it was raining. So here we are actually heading back to the bus, and we drive about an hour and 40 minutes north to Brigance, Italy, which is where the Fendt combine and Massey combines are built. These are the European machines, and obviously the ideal that is everywhere across the world now in North America and Australia. Some of the originals that they started off with, these are hillside combines, parallevels, and then these were new machines rolling off the line. After we finished in Brigance, we headed off to a winery, and they are Fendt owners. They've got 200 Fendt tractors that they use for doing all of their grooming and spraying and everything. But absolutely interesting to be able to see one of these wineries and how they actually do things on the side of the mountains to produce their grapes to market this wine that actually is all over the world. So that was the trips that I was able to go on. I think probably my favorite part of all of them was the roller coaster there in Austria that we stopped at for a night to just sort of break up the trip. It was pretty cool there. So anyways, we'll have some more videos starting to come out here now that we're getting into spring. We got some planter training coming up here in the next couple weeks. Got the farm show, all sorts of stuff like that. So we'll get a chance to be able to walk around and show you all that. But keep subscribing, keep watching. I hope you are enjoying the videos that we've still got out there. It looks like people are still watching some of the stuff from last fall. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.